Can't help it.
We're huge fans of you here.
Anyways, the Lakers want to take on the Kings.
Lakers do. You just gave away the tease, by the way, just right off the top.
Well, we're like
in.
4 minutes into this segment, so I figured
this is according to
who knows.
Yeah, right. Here's a hot take. I don't blame them.
No, and I think I said this a while ago. Like, if the Kings stayed at 3, I think everybody should want 6.
100%.
Like, if you're, I was always careful what you wish for.
Right.
But I mean, if the Clippers more experienced the Kings,
absolutely. Mavericks have 2 superstars.
Lakers.
Yep.
I mean, if you're looking, hey, do we want to play Memphis? Do we want to play the Nuggets? Do we want to play the Clippers? No, I would want to play the Kings.
You have to earn that respect. And we're going to get into some stats a little bit later as to why. I want to be really careful because what the Kings are doing right now is unprecedented for them, at least over the last 16 years, and they've proven a lot of doubters wrong, but there's definitely some Achilles heels to this team. And as you get closer to the playoffs, as you get into more slowed down atmospheres, when playoff experience helps, the bright lights help, having been there helps. We've talked about this before with very few exceptions. When you form when a team begins their rise, and you can go all the way back to some of your best teams ever, whether it was the Pistons or the Bulls having to get past the Pistons, whether it was whichever team had to get past whatever team and ultimately couldn't, by the way, like Seattle could never get past the Bulls and win a championship, the Jazz could never get past the Bulls and win a championship. You run into these roadblocks. I don't know that there's a roadblock team this year. Is Milwaukee a roadblock team? Is Denver the roadblock team? Are the Boston Celtics the roadblock team? I would say that if you gave me a choice of teams to win the NBA Finals, I'd probably take those 3 over the field.
Right.
But that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to win it. But there is something there that helps. Now, I personally believe in a 7-game series, I do believe the Kings would beat. I think they're a better team than the Lakers. Wouldn't shock me if they lost to them, though, because you've got the most experienced playoff guy in the world in LeBron James, if he were healthy. Anthony Davis is a stud when healthy, and they've put some pieces around them. So, yeah, if I'm a team like the Lakers and I'm being silly enough to look ahead at seedings when I'm probably not even going to make the playoffs, yeah, I'd probably pick the Kings. And you know what? I want more teams to leak this because this is true bulletin board material for the Kings.
Yeah, and I think it makes sense, the statement. Now, for the Lakers, the way the playoffs are constructed, I mean, they probably have to get all the way to 6. Their better chance of getting the Kings maybe is if the Kings get to 2 and the Lakers make it through somehow and are the 7 seed. But I just don't see any of that happening. Also, I wondered if it could happen anyway, but now with LeBron's injury. But I do think the difference would be this in the Kings-Lakers matchup. The Kings-Lakers matchup this year went well for the Kings, 3-1. They haven't played this Lakers team. The Lakers are different. I think the Kings are playing better now than they were even earlier, but this would be a different look. And if the Lakers got to a place like, let's say we'll do the fantasy land and the Kings stay 3 and the Lakers made it to 6, I would be concerned because that means the Lakers would have played phenomenal basketball the last 20. And with that group, and you go all of a sudden, look, as a year, they were probably a below 500 team. The last 20 with this roster construction, they would have been about a 75% team. So, but those are all pie in the sky, looking at it a super positive way for the Lakers that I think is not even going to happen.
Well, now that you have LeBron's injury, it's a whole new world. This report came out before LeBron was announced injured.
Yeah.
That being said, and we talked a little bit about in the last segment how maybe Oklahoma City's going a certain way. It's kind of amazing when you think about that because even the Lakers right now are a half game ahead of OKC, but they both have 32 losses. We've been talking a lot about loss column. The Lakers and the Thunder are 2 back in the loss column of the 5 seed. The 5 seed.
Right.
And you're talking about 2 teams that are right now the 12th and 13th seed respectively. They're 2 games in the loss column away from the 5 seed. So it's there.
Yeah.
Like it is there. The crazy thing is, other than the Nuggets, who have a 5.5 game lead over the Grizzlies, nobody has a bigger lead than the Sacramento Kings over the following seed.
Yeah.
The Kings are 3 games ahead and 4 in the loss column ahead of the Phoenix Suns, who are currently right now the 4 seed. They're just 2 back of the Grizz. It's actually quite amazing when you think about the cushion that the Kings have built up. And Jason, they have that opportunity with games like tonight. And then you come back home and you get a Clippers team that's going to be mad, but a Clippers team that you just beat in LA. You have a Minnesota team that record-wise you are better than. And then you have New Orleans, which really, I think they're going to shelf Zion for the year here. It's just not happening for them. And then you have New York. I'm not trying to sit here and tell you that the Kings are about to reel off an 8-game winning streak going into Phoenix on March 11th. It's not out of the question.
Mm-hmm.
Every time we say that, of course, they're going to lose, to Oklahoma City tonight. I get it, but they're in a spot, and imagine that. Maybe they don't reel off 8 in a row, but maybe they reel off a 7 out of 8 or a 6 out of 8.
Fantastic.
That'd be fantastic. And now you're sitting there, what, 8? That's 8 games down the road. If you were to go, 6-2 at worst, that's 8 games down the road. Now your record is 41-27, and now you have 15 games.
Yeah, you're just chopping games down, killing magic numbers down. I mean, it's just ideal. Really, just knocking the games down and getting enough wins here to keep the competition away from you. So, but if somehow we get a Kings Lakers series, are we gonna be able to handle that? Like I say, the Sacramento Kings fan that has a issue still with the Lakers, understandably so. The Lakers don't. Lakers have moved on. They've got many other rivals, but it's, I think the Kings fans would take anything because it's a playoff series. That'd be pretty interesting if the first round of this year was somehow the Lakers.
Let me make a statement. You tell me true or false. If the Sacramento Kings played the LA Lakers in the first round of the playoffs this year, or any round, but if the Kings played the Lakers in the playoffs this year, this would stand as the best chance going into any series the Kings have had at beating the Lakers. And what I mean by that,
I think so.
Even though it went 7 games, I don't know that the Kings we thought were better on paper than the Lakers back then, but I wouldn't put this team anywhere near the Shaq and Kobe Lakers.
Oh, no.
And I think it would be, I actually think just from a Vegas odds standpoint, I think the Kings would be more favored against the Lakers this year than any playoff series they play.
That's interesting, though. If let's say the Kings stay 3 and the Lakers got to 6, the Lakers would be favored.
I think you're right.
Based on name, reputation, history, Lakers would be favored.
Well, and just remember, and it's important to remember, too, Jason's right, but also that doesn't necessarily mean because the Lakers are better.
No.
It means because Vegas's job is to even out the money.
Right.
And more money would be coming in on the Lakers. They'd have to move that line up.
I mean, honestly, the same thing could be said if, let's keep the Kings at 3. It's Phoenix. Phoenix would be favored.
Yes.
Dallas, I'm not sure. Clippers, I think Clippers would be favored. I mean, I think favored.
I think so.
Yeah.
With the Warriors?
Same situation, right? If they make their way up to 6,
pretty
much,
much,
it's not that far, but
no,
they're the defending champs.
The Golden State Warriors are a half game out of the 6.
Yeah, but they're the defending champs. People still say, well, watch out. You wouldn't want the Warriors in the playoffs.
By the way, I think it was Patrick I saw earlier in the YouTube chat point out that the Kings are 1.5 back of the Grizz. And again, I'm trying to get everybody to do this now as we get closer. They're 2 back in the loss column. Loss column is the more accurate way as you get down towards the end of the season to gauge how much you are ahead or behind a team. A, destiny control. B, it gets rid of the bias of teams playing uneven amounts of games. We'll take a break. The Kings are 3-0 coming out of the break, and a huge reason, not just for that, but for this entire month, has been De'Aaron Fox. Could he be player of the month? We'll give you the numbers next.
The